Okay, so the last type that we're going to cover in this module is the for of loop. And we've already studied arrays, so this loop is very useful in terms of working with arrays and also strings. So a for of loop looks like this, and it's a little bit different than what we've seen so far. And it says for variable of iterable, and then inside it has code to be looped. And so what that means, variable of iterable. The variable is a container, and that container is going to change out what's in it each time the loop runs. And the way it's going to work is that it's going to go through each item in the iterable. So let's say each element in the array, and one at a time, those elements will be put into variable, and then it will be run through the code, and then the next one will be put into the variable, and so on. So an iterable in this case can be a lot of things. So far, the things that we've studied that would be relevant here are an array or a string. You can use a string as an iterable because it's a series of characters. So if I'm using a string in this case, and I'll show this in a minute when I demonstrate the code, what I can do is I can go through one letter at a time. There are lots of reasons why you might want to do that when you're looking at a string. It's a great way to go through a string and kind of process that string or do something to each character. So the code to be loop obviously is the code that's repeated inside the loop. And so let's take a look at this code. Okay, so the for of loop here is going to create a basic loop where we're going to, let's say in this case, use an array of numbers. And so what I'm doing here is I'm setting up an array of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're integers. And in that loop, I'm saying for let number of numbers, and then in the console log, I'm writing the variable. So what it's going to do is it's going to say, okay, for each number in here, I'm going to start with number 1. I'm going to put number 1 in the variable number, and then I'm going to print that number to the console. Then the loop continues, and I will go to the next number, which is 2, and now 2 becomes the next number, and that number gets printed to the console. Then 3 and 4 and 5. And then when the list reaches the end, or when the loop reaches the end of the list, rather, then the loop finishes naturally. Okay, so